Time now for Focus, and today we have a report on solar energy in India after Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron opened a new solar plant near Varanasi, one of India's most polluted cities. In 2015, the two countries launched an international solar alliance of more than 120 countries, and there's been spectacular growth in the Indian solar market. But there's a dark side, with people forced off their land.
This is Kamuthi. With 2.5 million panels, it is India's largest solar power plant. It's a matter of pride for the country, but behind its gleaming panels looms an ecological disaster. Each day, 200,000 litres of water are pumped illegally from neighbouring villages to clean the plant.
They are diverting our water, and the inhabitants of the surrounding villages are left with nothing. We sent letters, we have demonstrated, blocked roads even, but nothing has changed. If they continue like this, all the families living within 50 kilometres of the plant will not even have water to drink.
For this local politician, stopping the Adani Group, the company that runs the plant, from drying up the region has become a mission. The area is already reeling from a historic drought, and farmers are desperate.
Yes, it's very dry. My heart bleeds when I see my field. The solar plants made our work impossible. We exhaust ourselves for nothing. The Prime Minister promised that there would be electricity for everyone, but it did not happen. We have power cuts all the time. Not only do we not have electricity, but we are also facing a water shortage.
Solar plants take up a lot of space and often require evicting people from their land. Neemuch Solar Power Station in central India covers an area of 300 hectares. That's as large as 18 football stadiums.
That was my house, and behind was my field. We were growing corn and soybeans. But then they built this wall. They took over the whole area and had a lot of construction work done. I tried to stop them, but they called the police. I ended up at the police station myself.
Like many Indian farmers, Savara did not own the land he cultivated. He simply used it.
That's the proof that I paid a fee for 15 years to use this field.
Savara was forced to leave with his children and animals. It is difficult to evaluate the exact number of displaced farmers because in India, criticism of the solar dream is unacceptable. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made it a personal priority. In November 2015, at the Paris Climate Conference, he joined hands with France to launch the International Solar Alliance, an organization dedicated to the development of renewable energy.
The idea is to give countries, who mostly have the sun as a main energy resource, the tools for development.
The French and Indian governments have intensified their campaign and have established a $1,000 billion fund for investment. 2 years later, the International Solar Alliance already has offices on the outskirts of New Delhi. But they're nearly empty. The organization only has 10 employees so far. Of the 121 countries that signed up, only 22 have ratified the agreement. Neither Canada nor the United States are amongst them. Today, a Bangladeshi delegation of solar panel manufacturers is visiting. They want to sell their technology to the alliance.
It's a huge market for a lot of people. It's a 3 billion population globally that has not been yet served with energy.
A huge market that's also quite chaotic. In recent months, following a drop in the price of solar energy, buyers, including Indian public institutions, have not honored the contracts they signed.
But so, are you really playing the role of a manager here?
We're just starting out, so we don't have a managerial role, but we play the role of an aggregator, a facilitator.
They are certain that the future is bright. But if their contracts are not fulfilled, the sector could lose up to $6 billion.
And the bright is there, we take the brightness outside of the world. Thank you.
Today, it is primarily the Chinese who dominate the market. 70% of the solar panels sold in India come from China. As in this small factory, the only Indian thing about these solar lamps are their names.
Do you see these little diodes? They are all imported. All our products come from Taiwan, Korea, and especially China. We only assemble them here.
The Indian Prime Minister has made the Make in India program central to reviving the economy.
We see on television, in the newspapers, that the government is more and more ambitious regarding its solar projects. But for small companies like us, there is no help made available. Instead of importing products, if we could make them in India, we would save money, and that would create jobs for Indians.
At present, India is still heavily dependent on coal.